President Donald Trump wonders whether one of the results of the damning Inspector General's report should be that all of the phony cases have to be overturned or dismissed. Is he talking about George Papadopoulos and, more importantly, General Mike Flynn? The Federalist reports that Judge Emmett Sullivan had two choices: he could ignore the growing evidence of government misconduct and wind up the 2-year saga that has been the sentencing phase of the Michael Flynn criminal case, or he could say, "Not on my watch." Yesterday, in a methodical and seemingly tempered opinion, the longtime federal judge opted for the former tack when he denied in full the comprehensive motion to compel Flynn's attorney Sidney Powell filed several months ago. Judge Sullivan then set Flynn's sentencing for January 28, 2020. This was a remarkable decision because Inspector General Michael Horowitz's report proved, beyond a shadow of a doubt, that the FBI overstepped its authority several times during the Russia collusion investigation. General Flynn was, of course, targeted as part of this investigation. Talk about a poisoned well. Although the judge in the case disagrees, President Donald Trump, on Twitter, wrote, "So, if Comey and the top people in the FBI were dirty cops and cheated on the FISA court, wouldn't all of these phony cases have to be overturned or dismissed? They went after me with the fake dossier, paid for by Crooked Hillary and the DNC, which they illegally presented to FISA. They want to impeach me. I'm not worried," he went on to say in a follow-up tweet, "and yet they were all breaking the law in so many ways. How can they do that and yet impeach a very successful economy plus president of the United States, who has done nothing wrong? These people are crazy." The case against General Flynn has always been extremely flimsy. The FBI was so determined to bring him down that they were willing to settle for anything that accomplished that goal, undoubtedly with the end goal in mind of getting to President Trump himself. That failed eventually, but hey, at least they successfully took out a powerful critic of the military intelligence community, who also had the audacity to support Trump. To these dirty FBI agents, that was enough of a win. So, they set him up and all but forced him into pleading guilty after he was financially ruined. The man lost his house, is bankrupt, and will have a difficult time finding a new job when he returns to society. Back in April of this year, David P. Goldman called on President Trump to pardon General Flynn and summon him back to Washington. Mueller forced Flynn to plead guilty to an invented charge of lying to FBI agents, even though the FBI agents who interviewed him about Russian contacts said that they thought he was telling the truth. Now that the Mueller investigation has come up with nothing, the frame-up of General Flynn appears all the more heinous. The deep state feared Mike Flynn, with good reason. Trump should reappoint him to a top job, and really terrify his opponents. We can now add to this that, with the IG's report proving serious and serial FBI misconduct in the Russia collusion investigation, the well has been poisoned to such a degree that the case against General Flynn has to be dismissed, if not by Judge Sullivan, then by President Trump, who has all the authority he needs to pardon Flynn and bring the general back into his administration. Trump is right, all of these phony cases have to be overturned or dismissed. But since the judges in those cases aren't willing to take responsibility for it, it's time for him to step up to the plate and help the man who meant so much to him early in his presidential campaign.